Hi guys, it's Carol. How are ya? I believe this is the last day of September. I'm not for sure. How you doing? I have been thinking about every single one of you that I know lives in Florida, South Carolina, Georgia. I have one lady I watch and she subs to me that lives somewhere in Georgia, and they were asked to evacuate. I don't know the name of her town right offhand, but I just can't imagine you guys having weather like that and the devastation that's happening. I am so sorry. I watch a channel, the name is Nona Grace, all one word, and she tagged me to do a fall tag. I've done this before. I don't know if it's the exact same questions, probably 2 years ago, and so I tried to go through my videos to find it and see what I said or see if it was the same questions, but this will be my 527th video. And why there's not a search where you can search by keywords in the title or something, I don't know. Or if you guys know how to search through your videos to find a specific one without opening all 527, let me know, because I would like to do that sometimes. Anyway, there's 20 questions. I'm supposed to tag 2 people. I haven't figured out who I'm going to tag yet, so I'll stop and figure out who I'm going to tag and then put that clip in with their channel names and you can go watch them. And don't stop watching until the very end, because there is the most beautiful picture that my sister took that I want you to see. I mean, it's just a professional looking picture, I think. I was very proud of her. Okay, let's get on to before I get to the 20 questions, I need to apologize. I said in my last video that I don't mind spending a lot of money getting my dogs groomed, but I don't want to pay a hairdresser a lot of money to cut my hair. That I did not mean to dish any hairdresser. No, I am a weird person. I have the funniest quirks. I've been through therapy for a lot of them, but this one, I just stopped before we fix this one. I have the most, I don't know if it's insecure feelings or what. I don't know. Now, don't try to fix me. I'm not asking for help. I'm just explaining. I feel cripplingly so that I don't deserve to go to a hairdresser that charges a lot of money. It's silly. I know. I deserve all good things. But in my mind, I can't do it. No, I don't. I think it's because I had the weirdest childhood. And my mother, bless her heart, she was a sweet woman, but she was critical. My dad was a schizophrenic with no medication. It was, my sister and I still to this day, she's 76 and I'm 68, and weekly we say, we had a weird childhood. But anyway, this one time when I was pregnant with Casey, we had moved back to the little town in New Mexico where my sister lives, and into a little house right across the street from my mom. And I had Becky, my oldest daughter, and we had moved back there, and my husband had a job driving a dump truck. At story time at the library, I met 3 women that I became very good friends with. One was a registered nurse, one was a registered nurse and married to a doctor, and the other lady was married to the district attorney. One time my mother said to me, I mean, I have very low self-esteem and insecurity issues like crazy, said to me, aren't you getting floosy socializing with a doctor's wife and an attorney's wife, and I hadn't realized that I wasn't up to snuff to be friends with these people. It really cut me to the core. I mean, I just, shrank, not physically, but mentally, I shrank down to the lowest low, And I think that's why I struggle with a lot of issues, like going to a really nice hair salon and having somebody fix my hair really nice and me paying a lot of bucks for it. I can't do it. I cannot do it. But anyway, I didn't mean to diss any hairdresser saying, I'm not paying you big bucks to do this. No, it's my weirdness. And I can allow myself to go to Walmart and get my hair cut. Casey is always fussing at me about, don't go to Walmart. I have had one lady in the past 30 years that was wonderful. I loved her, but she moved to a very expensive hair salon, and I couldn't afford to go there. And since then, it's everybody right out of school that probably was at the bottom of the class. I'm sorry. They just don't have a lot of practice yet, I think. Anyway, so I go to Walmart when I can, also because I have irritable bowel syndrome. I'm sorry. I don't go to places very often because I never know when it's going to hit, and it would be horribly embarrassing. So that's another reason I don't go places. I need to go to an optometrist. I need to get a mammogram. I've got to go back to my doctor to get a refill. I've got to see my psychiatrist this month. I've got I've got to go to the dentist. I've put everything off until I can't put it off any longer. So October is going to be a stressful month for me. But anyway, I didn't mean to be ugly about any hairdresser. I just meant I feel like I'm not good enough and I can't go in those places. I know it's silly, but I cannot make myself go to a really nice hair salon and pay a lot of money or any money. So, and don't try to fix me. I paid a lot of money to therapists. I like me now. I like me. We're just going to stop. Okay, 20 fall questions. Favorite fall sweet treats? Oh my goodness. I love pumpkin cookies. I love pumpkin cake roll. I love pumpkin pie. Anything pumpkin pretty much, but pumpkin cookies, pumpkin cake roll, and pumpkin pie. Oh, and also just pumpkin cake. I used to, for my birthday, I always asked my daughters to make me a pumpkin cake with cream cheese frosting. And that's what I almost always have at my birthday. I like pumpkin. Question number 2, red or green apples? I like red apples better. 3, favorite fall sport? I am not a sports person at all. I never played sports. I'm just not interested in sports. But when my kids were in high school and when my 2 older grandsons were in high school, they were all in the band. And I absolutely loved to go to high school football games, mostly to see the band at halftime. And where I live now, across a highway from me, but just right over there, I mean, so close, is the high school where my grandsons went. And every morning at 7 o'clock, they practiced out on this field. And if I go out and sit on my swing in the mornings, I can hear the band practice. And I just can't tell you how I love that. I love high school bands. Best drink for fall. I make this stuff. I think it's called Russian tea. I will look it up. Now that would have been a good video if I'd made it for you, but I didn't. But I'll find the recipe and I'll just stick the recipe in. You can make it for yourself. It's instant tea with lemon and it's Tang mix, and I don't remember what, cloves or cinnamon or something. I'll look it up, and I will write it down and take a picture of it and put it on here. I don't drink, I don't like hot drinks too much, but I will drink that hot. 5, favorite fall activities. Well, if I lived in a home that had trees that lost their leaves, I would love raking leaves. If I, what other fall activities are there? I can't think. I loved to take my grandkids, all 4 of them, when my 2 older ones were little. I love to take them to, we have a pumpkin farm here that is one of those places that has a big corn maze and grows a ton of pumpkins, and then they have all these other activities. You've probably seen places like that where they just have all kinds of activities, and a train made out of barrels, and a big huge slide that you slide into a pit of corn kernels. I mean, you know the kind of place. Now, I did have fun going with my grandsons to that. Otherwise, I don't know what fall activity. We're under a burn ban most of the time, so we can't have a fire outside and toast marshmallows or anything like that. I can't think of anything else. Oh, at that place I was talking about, they have hay rides, and that was okay, but I really liked the corn maze, because, I mean, it was a huge one that you could get lost in. My 2 older grandsons did not appreciate it. They didn't like doing that with Grandma, but anyway. Must have fall, can't read my writing, purchase. Well, I don't purchase much of anything different in fall. If I had a lot of money, I would love to, on my patio, I'd love to have a big display with a, scarecrow and a pile of pumpkins and gourds. If I had money, I would do that. But I don't, so I don't have that. Favorite fall purchase? I guess just lots of canned pumpkin. That's what I bake with. Number 7, pick your own pumpkin or buy a store-bought pumpkin. Well, if I had a yard and could grow pumpkins, I would be thrilled to do that. In fact, a long time ago, when Casey or Becky, it was probably Becky, went to a preschool, a private little preschool in that town where I wasn't good enough to associate with the DA's wife. I had a house with a big lot, and I had a garden, and I grew enough pumpkins that Becky had enough to take to school for every one of her little classmates. It was a little private school in a lady's house. I think there's probably a limit to like 15 kids or something. But we grew pumpkins that year, and Becky got to take pumpkins to school for everybody. So if I can't pick my own, but I would if I could. And I haven't ever bought a store-bought pumpkin because that's a lot of money. Real or fake pumpkins? I like either. I've got, little ceramic pumpkins from Dollar Tree. I like to see them, and paper pumpkins and real pumpkins. I like all pumpkins. Favorite Halloween costume? I hate Halloween. When I was little, we really had no money. We were really poor. I remember one time when I was probably, I'm going to guess first grade, maybe second grade, but probably first grade. We had this store called, oh gosh, what was the name of that? Sprite's Ritz 5 and Dime store. And I remember my mom let me buy this mask that was shaped like a pumpkin, like a jack-o'-lantern. And I went trick-or-treating that year in my coat, because where I live, it's always cold at Halloween, wearing that mask. And I could not have been more than second grade. I was either first or second grade. I remember she let me go trick-or-treating by myself in the dark. We lived on a block at that time where there was only 2 other houses, and those 2 ladies didn't do Halloween. So I had to at least leave our block to go anywhere else. Now I'm thinking, what was she thinking? Sending me this little bitty girl out to go trick-or-treating. But we did a lot of things then we don't do now. But anyway, that was the Halloween costume I remember from my childhood, the only one. When I used to take my kids trick-or-treating, here I would drive them. There's a section of town that has huge houses, the kind that give out a full-size candy bar, you know, really big houses with lots of Halloween decorations. Everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people drive their kids there and walk up and down those streets. It's just and I used to take my kids there. We did that. We had a ball. We absolutely had a ball. All four of us and me, we, you know, stayed together. I didn't send them off by themselves. But I'm trying to remember what costumes they had. Usually they were something homemade. I don't remember ever buying a store-bought costume. The only costume I really can remember is Becky had a poodle skirt and a white shirt with the things rolled up and saddle Oxfords, because you could get saddle Oxfords back then for shoes. And I put her hair in a ponytail with a little scarf. You remember those little scarves, colorful scarves? And Casey, I took white netting, and she had on a leotard and tights, and I made this sack out of white netting that fit over her, kind of like a baby jumpsuit type thing, and we filled it full of balloons, and she was a bag of jelly beans. Other costumes, that year, Brent was a firefighter, and Trey was a cowboy. But we just bought the hats and figured out everything else ourselves. Okay. 10. College, football, or NFL. I refuse to watch NFL because I think it's a holy sin how much NFL players get paid to play a ball game, and yet teachers struggle to buy classroom supplies. I do not watch NFL. They make me mad. I do sometimes in the winter just to have something on for noise. If I don't have company here, sometimes I turn on college football. I kind of like college football, but I refuse to let my sons play football in school. And I know my son will refuse to let Brent play because we had a bad... Brent my oldest son, could talk me into anything. He talked me into letting him play football in 7th grade. And we had a very, very bad experience with the coach, and got him out of football real quick. But other than that, the reason I always said, no, you're not playing football, is because of the injuries. Here, just in this season so far, and this is the end of September, one young man at a little town real close to us got hit real hard on the football field, on one of their first games, died. I know of at least 2 other football players from little towns that within the last couple of years have been paralyzed from the neck down. Do you think I'm going to let my kids play football? Heck no. I used to tell them, any sport that requires an ambulance to be parked at the end of the field, you're not doing. I guess that's how it is everywhere. I don't know here. Here in Amarillo, at football games, there's at least one ambulance parked right on the edge of the football field so they can get you to the hospital. No, I would not let a child play football. Oh, good Lord. Get me on my soapbox. Number 11, fall or Halloween decorations. Well, I hate Halloween. I don't like to be scared. I've been scared enough in my life. I don't like anything scary. I just don't like Halloween. Now, I may have some cutesy I used to go to a ceramic class and I painted like a little ghost with pumpkins all around him or something like that. I may have a couple of things like that are Halloween, but not much. Fall, I have scarecrows and ceramic pumpkins and some stuff like that. So I do fall, if I do any decorating. 12, raking leaves or no raking leaves. Well, I don't have a place to go rake leaves, so I don't rake leaves, but I would love to. At the house where I had the garden and I grew enough pumpkins for Becky's preschool, down the street was a lady who had a couple of big trees that dropped leaves like crazy. And so I asked her, could I have my leaves for mulch? This was, Becky was born in 79, so this was 85 maybe. And where I lived, recycling and composting was unheard of. But I had read that if you gathered up leaves and put them in your flower beds, it would improve the soil. So I asked that lady if I could come rake some leaves up. And she said, take all of them you want. And at that time, my husband had a little pickup, and I went and I filled up the bed of the pickup with leaves. And it was fun, although my allergies acted up terrible. Okay, 13, favorite soup. Oh, I love soup. I would have soup just about every day. That a couple of days ago, or maybe last week sometime, I did a video on a green chili stew with chicken meat and green chilies and potatoes. I love that. That's probably my favorite soup. But if you go up to my playlist, and if you don't know how to find my playlist, let me know. But if you go to my playlist and then you scroll down through the different files, there's one that's recipes used on my videos. And I've got one that's got 3 fall soups on the same video. I love them. My grandkids love soup. They love King Ranch chicken soup, chicken fajita soup, taco soup. I make soup a lot, and I eat a lot of soup, but probably green chili stew is my favorite. 14, favorite fall candle scent. Well, I have asthma, and perfumes or scented things close my lungs up faster than anything, so I don't buy candles. Also, when I worked at the library, we used to have the fire department come do programs all the time, and this one fireman said he did not let his wife burn a candle anywhere in their house except in the middle of the kitchen stove, because he'd been to too many fires where people lost everything over a candle. So I don't have candles. I like candles. I think they're beautiful, and I would love the scent if it didn't try to kill me. 15, love or hate pumpkin spice. Well, I love pumpkin spice. That's what I put in cookies and cakes and cake rolls and pie. I love pumpkin spice. 16, short booties or tall boots. I've never had a pair of short booties. I don't think that I would want one. If I'm going to be wearing boots, it's because I'm going out in the snow. And here, when we get snow, we can get a couple of feet. Short booties would not work. So tall boots. I have a pair of cowboy boots that I wear. I don't have waterproof type boots, but anyway, that was 16. 17, favorite Halloween candy. I like Snickers. I like Reese's Pieces, not Reese's Pieces, I don't like them. Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. I like Baby Ruths. I love Paydays. Those are the kind of candies I buy. Just Hershey bars. I like pretty much anything chocolate. I haven't had a trick-or-treater come to my apartment in forever. Casey's lived here like 12 years and she's never had one. Hi, I'm going to stop this. Casey's fixing to leave. Hang on. I'm going to stop this here because it's so long. I'm sorry I'm so long-winded today. So I'm going to make another video. I'll post them both today, and I'll make this part 1 and that one part 2. And at the end of that one, I'll put what channels I have tagged. Again, I apologize for making such a long video. I just had a lot to say to you today, I guess. It's nice visiting with you. Okay, watch part 2.